Hey guys, what's up? This is Big coming to you from G&A today. So I've got a few little scores that I want to show off. Although I don't have any awesome scores to show off like a couple of those guys, Metham and Pistol Pete, getting those AR-15s at Walmart for half off, getting the Wyndhams for $350, and my Walmart doesn't have any AR-15s, they don't carry them. And I've been out there several times looking and waiting for that, and just been staring at the guns and like close my eyes real hard and blink them and open them up and hoping that AR-15s just magically appear, and hasn't happened. My Walmart just doesn't carry AR-15s. I wish they did, because I'd have been all over that. Although tomorrow I am going closer to some other Walmarts I think that possibly do carry them. I can't remember for sure, but I will absolutely be looking for that. So anyways, my scores are not cool like that or anything, but got a little bit of just kind of a variety of scores. Alright, so here's the cheap Tasco scope that I talked about the other day. I've already got it mounted. I think I threw the receipt away on this, but it's normally $45 and I got it on clearance for $21. And I know this thing is cheap, but I've already got it mounted on my Palmetto State AR-10. And the reason I like it is because it's got this big old bell on it, 50 millimeters, and so it really gathers a whole lot of light. And just going to try it out, and like I said in the other video, $21. If it ends up being a piece of junk, that's fine. I'll end up probably just maybe mounting it on just one of my cheap 22 rifles. Now, I've got better scopes than that. I mean, I could have mounted this. I still haven't mounted this thing right here, this Nikon M223. And I meant to make a video about this. It's been several months since I got this thing. I meant to make a video about this and just never got around to it, but I got ripped off by Cabela's on this scope right here. I bought this thing and it was on sale itself. I think it was 140 or 150 bucks. But with this, they were packaging the Nikon scope mount, which was a $70 or $80 value. I ordered this thing, got it 2 or 3 days later. It was free shipping, I think. And those scope mounts were not in the box. So I called up Cabela's and said, "What's up? I ordered that. It was on the listing. Where are those scope rings?" And they said, "Oh no, it wasn't included with that one." But it was on the listing. And I saw this through Slick Guns, and there was a bunch of guys that posted on this thing that they saw the exact same thing that I did, and it was supposed to come with those scope rings. And I called Cabela's, talked to several people, and griped pretty loudly, but they would not budge on that. I was not real happy about that. I mean, I still got the scope for a good deal, just buying it, but they said in the listing that it came with those scope rings, and of course, they always have the disclaimer that if we make an error, then we can be free of that, which I think is wrong. If you make an error, you need to own up to it. And even on top of that, they didn't even email me later and say, "Oh, whoops, we messed up. You're not going to get those scope rings." They just mailed it to me and didn't say anything about it, like I was going to be all right with that. Okay, so yesterday went back and I scored a couple more boxes of this Winchester Super X 37 grain, 1330 feet per second. This was yesterday, 8/19, right at lunchtime, 12:48. I just scored me a couple of these, 797. Okay, and well, at lunch I scored these yesterday, and then I was back in last night just to check, and they were still sitting on the shelf. 9:30 tonight.
Yeah.
Still got some 22.
Called them and everything? Yeah.
But while I was standing there, I was talking to a guy who had said he'd been waiting there for 15 minutes, waiting for somebody to get back there to get him some. He was looking for some 223. But we were talking about the 22 that was sitting on the shelf, and he said, "Yeah, over at our local farm and ranch store that I've shown videos from occasionally." He said, "Yeah, they've got 22 over there. Have you gone to check that out?" Well, they usually get their ammo shipments in on Friday morning. I always go over there at Friday at lunch to check it out. Well, for some reason, they got theirs in yesterday, which was Wednesday. I hadn't been over there. They haven't been getting much in lately, so certainly not going to check in the middle of the week when I know there's nothing. But anyways, that guy said that, so for sure I went over there today and checked it out. And they were loaded with some 22, with some Winchester 22. So I'm going to show you that video right now. So I don't know how many rounds they had there, but it was an insane amount of Red Rattler and of those little 50-round boxes. And actually, it was the exact same stuff as this, 37 grain, 1,330 feet per second, and they're even cheaper than Walmart. Walmart is $7.97, and they're $7.49 at my local farm and ranch. So that stuff is going to be there probably for a week. I can go back and I could probably pick up tons of that. Although I'm limited to 3 50-round boxes and 2 100-round boxes, and I'm going to roll in a little bit of video of a guy talking about that real quick. Let's see if I can get some ammo out of this.
No problem.
Looks like y'all got a little bit in.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
From what I hear, the shortage on 22 is stopped.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Well, here.
When did y'all get all that in?
Not here.
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed 2 100 boxes and 3 50-round boxes.
Okay. What I was interested in is these little 50-round boxes because I don't have any of this. And this is 40 grain, 1,255 feet per second, which in the Red Rattler boxes, I looked, and of course the 4 main ones that I have on my UPC page is not any of these. So I don't know if these you can even get this exact one in a Red Rattler box sleeve. I need to look on Winchester's website and see. But anyways, they had these for $2.99 a box. And I just looked a little bit online. I looked at Natchez. They have these for $3.99, which Natchez is usually pretty cheap or decently cheap on their 22. They always rip you on the shipping, but they were $3.99 on this. I didn't really look anywhere else. But anyways, my local farm and ranch store, they're always very reasonable with their prices. So that $2.99 I'm sure is right in the ballpark or even below most people on that. So that happened today at lunch at 11:32. It took a little bit of an early lunch. Had some other stuff to do. Went through the day. We went out and ate supper tonight, and where we ate at was real close to a Big Five. So I ran over to the Big Five, and usually Big Five is just outrageous on everything. But I bought that 7.62 the other day. Went ahead and grabbed another box of that. They have this stuff on clearance for $5. So I grabbed me another box of that, and they still have several of these, so I may go back and grab some more of those. But what I really found there was one of these 10-round magazines for my SIG 522. This is a Black Dog mag. And they had this thing marked down to $7.88. And so as soon as I got done with this, I ran back over to my local farm and ranch. Happened tonight at 6:57. When I was in at lunch today, I was in a hurry because I had a lot of other stuff to do. So I didn't ask for any of the big brick boxes to be able to put these in. So when I was there tonight, I saw the guy and talked to the guy who actually put this out last night and asked him if he had any of those, and he said he threw them all away. I'm going to have to just keep these loose like this. A little bit of my score over the last couple days, and I will probably be picking up a few more of those. This is Big Company from GNA. Thanks for watching today.